Hi everyone, it's the English Simmer here and welcome back to my channel. And today's video, which is gonna be going over the brand new skin tone update. This was meant to come out today. It got released early. Surprise dropped yesterday. I didn't have my video up yesterday because it was my mum's birthday, so we were celebrating and I was also streaming, so I just did not have time to record the video, and this update just took me by surprise because I was fully expecting it on the 8th. However, this dropped on PC and Mac and also both Xbox and PlayStation, so across all the platforms we got this update. It's the big one. It's the 100+ skin tones update that we've all been waiting for. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna read the patch notes. Yes, there were some updates to little bits and bobs within The Sims 4, but this is mainly gonna be looking at the skin tones and also a couple of the new updated hairstyles. I mean, we could start off this video by saying this is long overdue, but honestly, I'm just so thankful that this is now in our games. It is live. I have actually played around a little bit. I have dabbled in some of the skin tones. I am going to be talking about some issues that I've personally seen in my own game, but on the whole, this is a really positive change and definitely a step in the right direction when it comes to inclusion. Not only just representation in The Sims, but also just inclusion and people feeling as if they can finally create themselves in their favorite video game. So this is the child's hair that was updated. This looks so much better. I'll post up a picture of the original. I'm also playing without reshades, so anything that you see in my game is what is currently in base game. I've removed all of my mods for the purpose of this video as well. So this is the one with baby hairs, and then there is also a swatch without baby hairs. You know, not everyone like gels their baby hairs down. I would love to still see baby hairs come as an accessory that you could add, like maybe under like face paints or skin details. I would really love to see that, like with different swatches to apply to different hairstyles. I think that would add an element of customization, but this hair just looks so much better than the original base game one. And then this is the masculine tagged adult male hairstyle. I mean, it's available for anyone teen and above. So this actually reminded me of cats and dogs, but it's actually, it looks way better than the cats and dogs ones even. You have this slit, and then they've also worked on the fade and also the definition of the curls. It looks so much better than it did. I think it just looks way more natural on the sim, and I absolutely love it. The main event is obviously the skin tones. So we obviously have the undertones over here. So these are all the different sections, the subsections. So you have warm undertones, you have neutral undertones, and you have cool undertones. And then also you got your miscellaneous, you know, you've got your like alien skin tones, and then also if you have vampires, your vampire ones are also down here. I don't even have words. Like, this is way more than we ever had in The Sims 4, and I can't fault this. There are a couple of issues. This one specifically, I think it was this one right here. If I actually lighten it, so this is actually the color, so you can actually go lighter and you can also slide it to go darker. I mean, we could never come close to this skin tone. Like, if we go to the darkest cool, you could never get anywhere close to a skin tone like this in The Sims 4 prior to this update. Like, that just was never ever gonna happen. They really have done some work on this, but yeah, this one was the one that I have seen the most issue with. I just went through a couple of them. I like took the sliders back and forth, and I just wanted to talk about this because no, it's not perfect yet. I do think like a couple of these need to be worked on because there's blotchiness around the nose bridge, and then there's also like a little, it looks like a little teardrop at the end of the Sim's nose. I did take screenshots of some of these that I saw, and it's specifically around like the nose and mouth. There's like a white line around the mouth. It's a little bit strange, and I just wanted to bring it up in this video because hopefully this is the start of the beginning. I can't use words. I've been waiting a long time for an update like this, but hopefully this is the start of the team like also continuing to listen to the feedback. And I kind of knew that this was going to happen. They have done some prior work to this update to help the skin tones already. However, obviously with an update of this size, I was expecting some issues to be flagged up, and hopefully I can report this back to the team and hopefully they can see it on their end. Fingers crossed they'll be able to replicate it and see what I'm talking about when it comes to the blotchiness on the nose. And also, this isn't every single one. Like, I'm gonna throw that out there. You definitely can't see this on every single skin tone. They seem to have removed the redness from around the lips that we could see prior to this update. And you also don't have to go, like, I've been going the full spectrum, but you actually don't have to. You can just drop it down to wherever you want to go. You can also save the skin tone. So say if I really like this one, I could hit save and then it would pop up under cool because I use one of the cool base tones. And then this is my custom one. You can tell it's custom because it's got a little white arrow in the corner. You can also delete these as well. Are you sure you want to delete this custom skin tone? I'm gonna hit yes, and you can get rid of it. So if you don't always want to like try and find the perfect skin tone, you find one that you really like but you don't want to lose it, you can feel free to save that into your catalog, which is really, really nice. Also, if you create a custom skin tone, I know that usually means like custom content, but if you create a custom one from what we have in the game and it has this little arrow on, if you upload that sim to the gallery, the person who downloads that sim will also have this custom skin tone. So the skin tone applies even on the gallery. However, custom skin tones don't affect the in-game townies or random sims that are created in your saves. They will actually only stick to the ones that we actually have. Obviously, skin tones weren't the only thing that got an update. We also got an update on makeup. So I don't have any custom CC in my game right now, but we have a hue slider. We also have an opacity slider, which we have been needing for a long time when it comes to The Sims 4. We have saturation and we also have brightness. Technically, you might not even need to use the swatch system anymore, but there's like numerous colors that you can make these swatches, which is really cool to see. Then obviously you have the opacity. I will say I do think it like lags a little bit. Like as you're sliding, I would like to see it. You sort of have to wait for it to kick in slightly, but I mean, that's just a very picky thing. I want to see how the blush works. So let me get rid of the masculine. And then if we go down here to the MAC, oh, these, we can't get hue, saturation, or brightness. We can only play with opacity on this, which honestly, the biggest gripe I have with blushes in The Sims 4, I think we need more of a range of blushes anyway. Like, I've always felt that when it comes to The Sims 4, but it's when it comes to like skin tones and how they look on darker skin tones, especially, like it's quite hard to find a color that goes well with darker skin tones. Whereas with this, I mean, I would like to have all of these. I don't really know what the like design behind this was, like why we can't have hue or saturation or brightness when it comes to blushes. So I would like to see maybe blushes updated in the future. Let's check out some custom makeup though. Let's just see the custom content makeup and see if the sliders are included. So we have Cryptic Sim here. Cryptic Sim is one of my favorite content creators when it comes to makeup in the game. So the hue does nothing, but the opacity does actually change it up. It definitely has an effect, which, I mean, I was not expecting that. Saturation doesn't really have an effect at all, and neither does the brightness. So yeah, it seems like the opacity slider is the only one that will have a full effect when it comes to custom content that you already have. I don't know if custom content creators can actually set like different hues and stuff. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what they can get up to with these sliders when it comes to their custom content makeup, but that is what happens if you have custom content makeup in your game. Thankfully, it's not all broken by the looks of it. I've only used a very specific few to test this, but thankfully, they're all still working and they're not making my Sims look like a hot mess. And then what I also quickly want to test out is I want to add this as a... Okay, so this is the dad's skin tone. This is the mum's skin tone. They both have custom skin tones. But I want to see what happens if we play with the genetics of both of them and where the kid ends up with their skin tone. So we're gonna randomize a couple of times. So definitely seems to fall in the middle ground of the two parents, it looks like. It looks like custom skin tones will work if you save them. Even if you don't save them and you just have them on the Sims, it looks like it will work with genetics. Her skin tone isn't listed, which is unfortunate. Like, can I not save this kid's skin tone? Okay, so I just saved her to my library, downloaded her back off my library, and now I have access to her skin tone. So you don't even have to upload them to the gallery. You can literally just save it in your library, which I just did with this family. And then I re-downloaded them into my game, replaced the current one that were in my game. That's a whole thing to have to go through. Like, that's a whole rigmarole that you could definitely skip. Hopping over to my PS5 just so we can compare this to the console. So it has all the same options: warm, neutral, and cool. So you can hit a skin tone and then you can just hit X. You can also change. This is exactly the same. It goes up in the same like increments when it comes to the brightness of the skin tone, and then you can also save this as a custom skin tone. It works pretty much the exact same way. It's really easy to pick up on the console. I don't really play console all too often, and I was able to just like figure out how to do this. You can also switch between these using the right and left triggers. So there we have it. That pretty much wraps up the December skin tone update. Let me know how you guys feel about this update. I really think you can just see like the dedication and the research that went into this update. They obviously worked with Simmers as well to get their input, which I really appreciate, especially working with those it directly affects when it comes to representation and inclusion within The Sims 4. Like I said, hopefully this will lead to more updates when it comes to more inclusive hairstyles. I definitely think there's still some more in base game that need improvements, and I also would love if blushes continued to be improved upon in the new year. I do feel as if we need just more swatches in general, especially when it comes to having swatches that suit darker skin tones and also messing around with those new sliders. But yeah, I really just think the proof is in the pudding here, and I think you can see the hard work that has gone into this. Hopefully you guys can see it too. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will speak to you all in my next video. Bye!